My name is Leanne. I'm in the garden again, and I'm gonna share my May 2025 garden tour. I've been sharing monthly garden tours since March, so this will be the third one for this year, and it's crazy how much it's changed. If you want a little bit of context for that, check out my other two garden tours for April and for March. It's crazy. If you want to go way back, I did YouTube, I think it was 2020 to 2022 I did YouTube, and then decided to stop. So if you really want to see how crazy the change has been, check out some of those older videos. I just got a new phone, and that's how I record my videos, but it's got this wide angle on it, and I love it. It's so pretty. Okay, so that's a quick pan of most of the garden. The plan is to put 2 more of these log-lined raised beds on this side, and then 3 more on this side. I might do only 2 more. We'll see how it flows once I get there, but only 2 on this side because of I have blueberry bushes over there. I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, this pot right here is right in the entrance of the garden, and it was a throwaway pot. It's where I just dumped all of the dirt and the plants that didn't really look like they were going to make it. And as you can see, it's the first one to set fruit. So this is definitely a San Marzano because I only grew 1 paste variety this year. I only grew 3 varieties total. It's Dr. Witchy's, San Marzano, and Homestead tomatoes. And it looks like both of these are going to be paste tomatoes. You can kind of tell by the way the flowers are before the fruit sets. These have kind of long, skinny flowers. It's actually cool enough out here right now to be wearing a sweater, so I am really enjoying myself, not sweating my butt off, drinking my coffee in the garden. Oh man, I've recorded this garden tour. This is my 3rd time trying to record it. I ended up deleting the first one because I just was talking a million miles an hour and felt super rushed going through it. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to be anxious about making these videos. This is for my own enjoyment. So if I'm not enjoying it, I need to take a step back. So I deleted all of that. And then I tried it again, but the second time I was getting rained on. And when I went to go edit it all, I was walking around with an umbrella, and the rain was just too loud on the umbrella. So 3rd time's the charm. Here we go. Okay. Also, if you've been following along with all these garden tours, you notice that it looks a little bit different. I got some wood chips. I also found out there's a list the electric company has for dump sites whenever they need to clear branches out of the way to work on the power lines and they chip them up. They have a list of people that they can dump them in the area that they're doing the work. So I just got on that list, and I'm really excited. These wood chips actually weren't from that, but the lady that I got them from told me about that, so I was super pumped. This is another new development in the infrastructure of the garden. I set up my irrigation so that I can hook it up directly to the hose. I've got this coupler right here. I just got this from Lowe's. It was super easy to just pop on, and then you twist it onto the hose when you need to. And over here you can see I've got, so it's connected. There's a 1/2-inch pipe underneath the mulch that runs all the way that way, and I have it set up to connect to more in the future, but each one has a toggle so I can turn on only 1 bed at a time if I wanted to. Over here I've got my tiger melons going. Tiger melons are the only melons that I know of. I'm sure there's more out there, but they're the only ones that I know of that change color when they're ready to pick. They're about a softball size melon, and they're stripy. The stripes change to like a bright orange when they're ready. They're awesome. Moving along. We'll go to the left first. This bed is my garlic, and my Homestead tomatoes mostly. Homestead tomatoes are the ones doing the best. So to give you a little bit of context here, this bed had the least amount of that bought compost that I got. This bed had the most. And these two are basically the same with one difference. So the one to the right has just the regular mulched grass that grew up real tall. I mulched it down. I put cardboard down, horse manure that I got, and bought compost. This bed's doing much better than this bed. As you see, it is hardly green at all. But this bed, I put all the same stuff, only I put the cardboard on top of the horse manure and then put the compost on that I bought. And I think that there was just not enough room for the roots to grow at first. I should have put the cardboard down first like I did with the other one. Okay, let's move back over here. I really need to prune these. I'll probably go through here and prune these after this video. It's supposed to get rain all day, and I was prepared to work in the house because of it, which I still really need to work in the house. But it's nice out now, and I'm tempted to just do stuff outside. This little patch here is potatoes. I shared on Instagram when I planted all these. I had a bunch of potatoes left over from last year's harvest that were just small. I didn't get around to using them in the kitchen. And before I knew it, they started growing eyes, and then I forgot about them again, and they grew eyes that were like 12 inches long. And, oh, I need to get this Bermuda grass out of here. Look at that. Climbing up over the log. Hold on, pause. I gotta pause this for that. You see all that? Oh, got most of it. There's definitely a root still in there. See if I can finish this before any flies land in here. Do you spot the escapee? Miss Troublemaker over here. Ma'am. What are you doing by my pear trees? Also, look, those are my pear trees. I got those from my next door neighbor. Behind me is where I planted a bunch of Russian sunflowers, black Russian sunflowers. And I thought sunflowers were supposed to be one of the best things to plant in poor soil because they're known for like pulling toxins out of soil. Well, I'm sure that is true, but maybe not to the extent that maybe like poor soil but not hot compost. I think there's a difference there. Backstory, I got this compost from a local guy, and I think the compost is fine. It's not the compost's fault. It's that I put it down too close to when I needed to plant. So it's recommended to put all your amendments in the fall before, at least if it's like a compost. And I could tell that it was too hot because it was steaming when I got it. Shut it on. It's okay. It's gonna be a great fall garden. I'm already noticing some things bouncing back, not the sunflowers, as you can see. But we do have a couple over there that are bigger than the rest. So I'm holding out hope. And there's also a Swiss chard over there. Let's go take a closer look. Whole sections, those black Russian sunflowers. Then over here, I started planting some marigolds. Oh no, wait. This is the last black Russian sunflower right here. This marigold is doing okay. I've got a random volunteer squash. But this is the star of the bed, okay? This is the only one doing well. Swiss chard. I got these from Carolina Gardens in Western North Carolina on my way back home from a little camping trip. I also got these peppers from there too. And I'm noticing this pepper right here and this one are starting to look a little bit darker green than the rest. So my plan for the fall, I have a bunch of seeds that I got from MI Gardener, root veggies, lettuce, yada yada. Some brassicas that I'm probably going to start next month from Seed Indoors. This bed right here with the garlic in it, And this bed over here with the potatoes in it are going to be harvested around the same time as each other. So I'll go ahead and amend the beds with just some store-bought garden soil. I'll probably get 4 bags per bed and just give like a light sprinkling in each one. And because it's still got that compost that's breaking down. The compost will be ready for the fall plants way more than it's ready for these. And these 2 front beds are going to be the ones where the brassicas go, because they're going to need space sooner than the root vegetables, I would think. I think the root veggies probably will like it a little bit colder. That's just my guess, not 100% on that. Okay, but over here in this bed, as you can see, these tomatoes are doing really well too. They're just about caught up with the homestead. I've never grown potatoes and tomatoes in the same bed before, and so far I haven't noticed a problem too terribly. I'll show you down the line a little bit. One of the plants is doing this like weird curling thing that I've never seen before. Let's see if I can find that. Over here. It's this one. So it's more of the lower leaves. They just look more jagged. But the plant is nice and green. It looks strong. So I'm not sure what's going on with it. Mosquitoes keep getting me. There's not much to show in this bed. I sowed, or planted rather, teddy bear sunflowers in this back end, and I think maybe it's just too wet down here. I need to find a plant that likes to be wet, because I noticed even with these tomatoes, the ones up there bounced back way better than the ones down here. I've got, it looks like just 2 that are really, 3 actually. 3 of the tomato plants are really puny over here. This little guy is a black-tipped wheat that I wanted to grow just for flower arrangements, but it doesn't look like it's doing super great. There's 2 of them. So we'll see. Sometimes I plant fun things and they work, sometimes they don't. I planted parsley all over here and none of it's survived. So this will be another space for the fall garden. I mean, it'll all be used for the fall garden, but I'll be able to plant in it a little sooner than the rest, I think. So this is a fun addition over here. I've got a goji berry, this tall one. And this is a hops vine. I'm really excited. I don't know where I'm gonna put that though. And then these are some stunted teddy bear sunflowers from the, I think, second wave of seed starting that I did. They'll make really cute little flowers though. It'll be okay. This little pot's got some basil in it. And I have a label somewhere telling me which basil's in here, but off the top of my head, I don't know. That looks like something's snacking on them. I'm really getting got by the mosquitoes. Holy smokes. This is an Armenian yard-long cucumber. So the Armenian yard-long cucumber was pretty stunted too from the compost. Alfred wants to go back inside. The Armenian yard-long was stunted because the compost that I put in wasn't ready. I will say that over and over. And it's starting to bounce back now, but it's gonna start getting really hot here pretty soon. And at that point, once it hits 95 degrees in the day, all the plants will drop their flowers instead of produce fruit, because it's just too hot for them to produce fruit. I'm not holding my breath that these cucumber plants are going to give me cucumbers. My plan, I've got seeds for all of them still, so I will just put a fall sowing in. I need to do a little bit of research with the timing and see when the best timing for that would be, but I'm probably gonna plant the seeds. I might start them indoors because the critters like to eat the baby cucumber. The critters like to eat baby cucumber plants. So to avoid that, I'll probably start them inside. So, but over here, I've got 3 of my green stalk tears and strawberries. They're not really producing much strawberries right now, Also got another one over here. I have the full green stalks. They usually, this one with the bigger planting size is a 5-tier one. I think they make one that's a 7-tier with smaller tiers for like growing lettuces and stuff. But I just didn't have enough strawberry plants to fill all of it. So my hope is that they multiply this year and I have enough to fill it up. Still no flies in here. Moving along. The rain we've gotten the past couple of days, pretty crazy. Okay, over here I got a 5th bed started. Didn't quite get enough logs to finish it up. I'm putting this project on hold as the summer is getting too hot. I don't want to die in the heat, so the heavy lifting is going to pause until it starts to cool off in the fall. Over here, a pumpkin patch. I'm super excited about this. I'll pause before I show you the pumpkins. I've got a bunch of little baby basils. I think there's about 8 right here, and I've got another one right there. I'm sure I will be finding more throughout as time goes on, because this whole lane here, I had a bunch of basils growing. I think it was spicy globe, lemon, Genovese, and large leaf Italian basil. Over here are my Long Island cheese pumpkins. Put my coffee down for a second so I can show you how big these leaves are. For context, they're not the biggest leaves I've ever seen, but it's about the same as my hand. Not seeing any pest pressure on these yet. Just the pine needles stabbing them. I companion planted with marigolds. Marigolds are really great companions really for anything, because they're really fragrant and it kind of confuses the buggies. Moving along. This one is butternut squash. Not really a pumpkin, but also delicious. Leaves are a little smaller, which I think is just normal. I'm excited about these. Both the Long Island cheese, butternut, and this one over here is a winter luxury pumpkin, are tan pumpkin varieties. Get this weed out of here. Yeah, so this one, a little bit smaller but than the Long Island cheese, but a little bigger than the butternut. Long Island cheese pumpkin is a squatty tan pumpkin. Look at these beautiful sunflowers. The winter luxury is a more classic shaped pumpkin. I think they're both pretty large. This one is doing the best. This is a Jarrahdale pumpkin, which will produce dusty blue pumpkins. Last year, I tried to grow this on the other side of the garden, and I did not cover the weeds at all with mulch. I just weed whipped really heavily and hoped for the best, but the bugs just got them. So this also has marigolds around it. They all do. They're doing really great so far. I've already had vinevores get at a spaghetti squash plant that volunteered, but they're not messing with these yet, so I'm really excited. Maybe I'll get a dusty blue pumpkin. These sunflowers actually volunteered. I think there's some sort of hybrid from what I grew in the past. So I think my whole sunflower history is black oil, silverleaf, teddy bear. And these look like a blend between like the teddy bear and the black oil. They don't really have the silver leaf at all. I have some on the other side of the fence. You see those? Yeah. In the front yard. Those look a little silvery, so I wonder. But they're not as silvery as the ones that I actually planted years ago. This is just a jungle. So I'm thinking the edge of this bed is here. I could definitely fit 2 more at least before the raised beds. So one starts here, goes to where the hay ends, a little bit of a walkway, and then over there. It'll stop right at that. And I'll probably make it a little bit shorter than the rest of them so that I can walk all the way around those metal beds in the middle. But yeah, all of this, like some clover, dog fennel, random grasses, some zinnia volunteers right by my feet. I got a bunch of zinnia babies. I'm considering potting them up and trying to sell some, because I don't really want zinnias growing everywhere that they are growing. So, be careful about snakes. Another zinnia baby. They're everywhere. Once you know what to look for, you'll see them everywhere. I've got marigolds upon marigolds everywhere. Okay, so this row, you can't tell it was a row, but it was marigold, 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 marigold everywhere, all the way down this row here. And then more zinnias. They're everywhere, and I'm okay with it. I'm gonna leave some of them. What? Wait a second. That almost looked like garlic, but I don't think it is actually. I did plant garlic here years ago. I wonder if I would have left one and it come back. This is my first attempt at pumpkins. I started these plants indoors and then put them where it would be really hard to water for some reason. I don't know why I put them so far away. But here they are. They're not labeled anymore because I stole their tags and put them on the other ones that I already showed you. But I'm gonna leave them and see what happens. Also more marigolds. Moving along over here. In this back corner, you can kind of tell I've got some blackberries, and it looks like there's one that is ready to harvest. Let's pick that sucker. Looks like the only one. This blackberry bush was much bigger last year. I don't know why it's deciding to not do anything. Who knows? Got some corn growing in the neighbor's field. There's an easement back here, and I thought it would be really nice to take this section of the fence out. Put like a regular barn gate. Probably just like right
metal
here.
pasture
A regular barn gate right here. And then have them dump my wood chips back here instead of in the front. I'll just have to get permission. If you can imagine with me, the raised beds will stop about here. And then this back section, I want to put more fruit trees in. Right now I've got the blackberry bush, I've got elderberry over here, which is monstrous. Do I want to risk eating a bug when I eat this blackberry? No, it's also sandy, so I'm gonna rinse it. Okay, over here, let me hold my coffee like a normal person. This is my elderberry bush, and elderberries are native to North America, which is awesome. But they are monster plants. They grow so tall. This one, it just stormed last night, so it's all bent over. But they're monstrous. That's okay. Over here, I've got some more volunteers. My garden is half volunteers. You spot the volunteer. It's a loofah. Loofah gourds growing all up over there. Last year, I grew loofahs on the fence right there, where those weeds are growing up the fence. I need to take care of that. And I have so many sponges still. Peach trees. This one to the left, it looks very sad. Most of it is not growing. It grew like a new tree trunk and now is growing off of that and not off of the original one. This one looks healthy, though it had 8 fruit on it and they all fell off before they got very big. So super bummed. I was really excited about getting a lot of fruit. If you know anything about peaches and what could be happening, let me know. It doesn't look like it's got a lot of pest pressure on it at all. Like, it looks fine and full, and I need to prune it pretty bad, but it looks fine. It's only the second season that I've had it though, so I'm not gonna judge it too hard. This is pretty. It's a jungle from a different angle. Look how tall that dog fennel is. Like, I have some poison ivy in this bed. I'll have to be careful about that. Confirm that if anybody knows. So that's poison ivy, I'm fairly certain. Leaves of 3 letter B, red stem, jagged ends. Yep. This is a California sweet watermelon, which I believe is a small melon that I'm hoping will grow. I'm pretty sure that's a, you probably can't see that, but I'm pretty sure there's a black widow web right here. No bueno. Anywho, I'm hoping this watermelon plant grows up and waterfalls out of this bed and then climbs up this trellis. Off to the side of this bed, I've got 3 blueberry bushes. They're pretty full. I'm excited. So many more than last year. We got all that rain. I haven't done much to these. I've given them a little bit of compost and then a little bit of worm castings earlier in the season, but other than that, I really haven't done a lot other than try to keep the weeds down. This is the 3rd one. My friend gave me this. She just ripped it out of her garden and asked if I wanted it, and she's like, if it survives, it survives. It probably won't. But hello, it did. Very excited. I'm not gonna go over there because the grass is too tall, but I've got a couple volunteer sunflowers. That's fun. I must not forsake the coffee. I left it over here. No flies are going to ruin my morning. Okay, let me show you this other bed. So this is oregano. It smells so good. It's exploded in growth. It's taken over most of this bed, but it's very pretty and I'm okay with it. I have some random grass growing in here too that I need to take care of, and a national pickling cucumber, some yarrow growing behind it. Let me show you a closer up of the yarrow. Isn't she lovely? She's putting off some new flowers too. I'm excited about that. And then this is a national pickling cucumber that's starting to grow up. I'm excited about that. This is my glorious cascading thyme bush. If it's English thyme or some kind of other thyme, I don't know. But it's beautiful. It's flowering right now. The best time to harvest thyme is before it flowers, earlier in the season. So I have heard. But I'm probably gonna come through here. Bug just landed in my nose. I'm probably gonna go through here after it's done flowering and harvest some to dry. Oh, look at the little bumblebee. Hello. Oh my gosh, this camera is so much nicer. I really did not know what I was missing. Upgraded my phone. Oh my gosh, I think it's been since Jackson was a baby. I have not had the same phone. I've had the same model of phone. So I didn't have some crazy amazing phone that lasted 6 years. I had the SE model for like 6 years. And I just upgraded to the 15, and Ermagirsch is so much nicer. The camera is amazing. But I believe that's about it. There's some flowers and stuff in the front. I have some mint. I might as well just go show you. Okay, she's crossed a boundary. No good. Get. Shoo. You are not welcome in the garden. This is my greenhouse. I've got some lilies that were a gift from a friend. I just recovered this whole greenhouse with plastic. It was that corrugated plastic before, and there are some problems. Like this. Like it's still, water gets inside it when it rains still a little bit. So I just gotta be vigilant to take care of it. But this is what I want to show you. I've got some nice lilies and lemon balm, which has made a bunch of babies in the side of the garden over here. But she's cute, isn't she? Hey, Miss Kitty. Hi. Hey, girl. These pink flowers are Mexican primrose. And then all of these, this foliage is going to be black-eyed Susans. Just barely starting to put flowers up. I have a lot of volunteer sunflowers that I don't even know how those would have gotten over here. But they're here, so whatever. This bed, I will warn you, is quite a mess. But it's okay. I've got mint everywhere. Mint has gotten really tall. I need to come through here and pick a bunch of bundles to hang and dry. I've got a hydrangea in the middle there. Some more black-eyed Susans. This tall thing is a weed. I'm not sure what that is, but they've got cute little purple flowers. And then what I'm most excited about are these purple cone flowers that are just starting to open up. Really got to tame the mint here. Some knockout roses. The boys love to pick me flowers, and they've been picking me the echinacea. This wasn't their fault. This had already leaned over, but I told them this is the one flower I don't want you to pick because I'm gonna make tea with it. But it is so pretty. Also, these roots are chicory roots that I haven't decided what to do with yet. I don't even know if they're still good. They might be. It's not so pretty. It's very spiky. It was 2 years ago. I had the most of this fence landscaped with sunflowers and random flowers. I just did not end up, I didn't want to keep doing it because it was a lot of work. I didn't set it up super well either. But as you can see, we've got like a 9-foot, 10-foot sunflower right here, and it still hasn't opened its frickin' flowers. Open up. These are the silver leaf. They grow, I believe, like a nice pale yellow sunflower. These are a mystery to me. They're as tall as the silver leaf got, but they're not that silvery. So we'll see what those end up being. Not sure. All right, well, that is everything, minus like my crepe myrtle tree in the front, but that's okay. Getting a morning in the garden with the coffee and not sweating my butt off. I probably won't get another one of these days until the fall, but that's okay. We are in a different season and I'm gonna enjoy it for different reasons. Thanks for letting me gush about my garden to you guys. Stay tuned for June's garden tour. I will be getting some meat birds next week, so by the time the June garden tour rolls around, you'll get to see how the garden is operating with the birds in it. I'm pretty excited to have that structure that I built out of the old trampoline that I am planning to finish and use to keep the meat birds in. I'm getting this breed called Delaware, which is a heritage breed and a dual purpose bird, which they take longer to grow up to the right size for butchering, but they forage better and they aren't as disease prone. So this is my second round of meat birds that I have done. And the first round, if you're interested, I know this isn't gardening information. The first round was Cornish crosses and they were just weak and they died. And you know what? I got a lot and then ended up with one at the end of it because a lot of it was my inexperience, but also they're weak and gross. They just sat in their own filth and got up to eat and drink, and that was it. And I need a bird in the garden that's gonna forage, eat the weeds, eat the bugs, help me out in that way, and then I will butcher them. The plan is to save a couple of them too, since they are dual purpose. I can save them for eggs. I think they're known to have like lay 250 to 300 eggs a year. So I can just keep them for eggs if I wanted to, but I already have a laying flock and they are just now starting to lay about 6 months later, which is awesome. I think that's about the earliest I've ever had chickens lay eggs before. I'm really excited about that. But June's garden tour, you'll get to see how the birds interact with the garden, and I'm really excited. They're going to be contained in that, so they're not going to destroy my garden, which would be good. Stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching.